All right, the series is over and we have questions. And I think the number one question, maybe the number three question on most people's minds is, what happened to Mobius? Why doesn't he remember Loki? What happened to the TVA? Why is there a giant freaking Kang statue right there? So, the sacred timeline has always been something that the TVA monitors. They monitor the sacred timeline from basically a point outside of space-time. How do we know this? We've seen multiple times throughout the series that the TVA has observed the sacred timeline's branches being created. They would show up to the branch, clip it before it would form into a new reality, then return back to the TVA where they are safe from both the changes and the collapse of that branch reality. We work under the assumption, or at least I work under the assumption, that the TVA exists inside of the quantum realm. And as we've seen in Avengers and the Ant-Man movie, the time inside the quantum realm works differently. You can chart paths in the quantum realm that can take you to different points in time throughout space-time. We see the Avengers jump into the quantum realm on Earth and end up on Vormir, or end up on, I'm sorry, but I've completely forgotten the name of the planet where Peter Quill picks up the Power Stone in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It escapes me. But we've seen this at multiple points in time. It makes the most sense that the TVA would exist inside of the quantum realm. Here's the thing. As Mobius points out at the beginning of the series, time flows differently inside of the TVA. It makes the most sense that even though the TVA exists off of the sacred timeline, that they still have to abide by a timeline. Time is still flowing inside of the TVA. We see Mobius, we see him eat food, we see him run around, we see him have meetings with Renslayer, and he's not running into other copies of himself in any way, shape, or form. It makes the most sense that when the timeline began to create all of these branches, when the branches began to set, when the multiverse came back into existence, that one Kang went back into time, into the personal timeline of the TVA, and made it so that he was ruling the TVA, so that they would not get in the way of any of his plans. Here's the problem. He shot himself in the foot. And the reason why he shot himself in the foot is because he changed the past. The TVA never had a mission to go after, let's say, Sylvie. They also didn't have a mission to go after Loki. There was no reason to capture this Loki, or to capture this variant Loki. Just show up, prune it, delete him where he is, and pop right back. He set himself up for failure. It's basically Harry Potter, where Voldemort goes to kill Harry, but because he's went to kill Harry, he's more or less created the one person that's going to end up messing up all of his plans and killing him anyway. And that's essentially what's happening here with Kang. Because Kang took over the TVA so soon, he changed small details in the TVA's timeline. That means Mobius never met Loki. That means this Loki is showing up inside of a TVA that never hunted him down, or never encountered him. I cannot wait for season 2. I think I'm super pumped for season 2. Like, I am super hyped, because I want to see where this goes. Because I'm not going to fake. I am also 100% like okay with the fact that this theory could completely be wrong and Loki's just ended up in another universe's TVA. And that's how Marvel's going to play this. Every universe gets its own TVA instead of the TVA just existing outside of space-time. But that's my theory about what happened with Mobius and why Mobius doesn't remember Loki, and why there's a giant Kang statue sitting in the center of the TVA. Peace.